essentially borrowing pieces and parts from older music has been a trend that's been going on since the very beginning of popular music. But there have been a few cases over that time that have been so amazingly blatant, I feel it necessary to point them out. This is not an attempt to insult the borrowing artists, but actually just to give you perspective on these songs. And at the same time, these are just a few cases in the thousands and thousands of similar situations. Also, as much as I'd love to play you the clips from these songs, the internets aren't very keen on copyright infringement, so you'll have to go and search them out yourself. First off, let's take a look at Green Day's song Warning. This is a fun little ditty off of their 2000 album of the same name, and it certainly contains one of their most memorable riffs. But that riff is in no way an original composition. It is in fact all but identical to the same progression found on the Kinks' 1968 track Picture Book. It is impossible to deny this one. Listen and learn. Next up, a double dose of musical thievery from none other than Radiohead. Yes, Radiohead. Let's start with the band's first big single, Creep. Yeah, it's an icon of that era, and for many people, myself included, will always hold a special place. But the unforgettable musical refrain is all but original. It is in fact a complete ripoff of the Hollies song, The Air That I Breathe. And if you don't believe me, the fact remains that Radiohead was successfully sued over this situation. If you look at later releases of the band's Pablo Honey record, you'll see writing credits given to both Albert Hammond and Mike Hazelwood, who are in fact the writers behind the original song. And while you might think that the band learned their lesson, well, they didn't. In fact, they went even bigger when stealing the memorable riff that backs the song Karma Police. Yeah, I know, you know that song through and through. What could you have possibly missed? Well, how's your knowledge on that little band called the Beatles, specifically the White Album? If you'd like to have your mind blown, go ahead and listen to Karma Police and then check out the Beatles song Sexy Sadie. Only listen to the piano. Sorry for ruining that song for you. Now let me jump to a bit of musical borrowing that I noticed the very first time I heard it, and it involves the Strokes' hit single, Last Night. Anybody who knows anything about music instantly identified this as a blatant attempt to hide the iconic riff to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers song, American Girl. Wait, what? You've never noticed it? Seriously? Go listen to the first 30 seconds of both songs, then tell me it doesn't exist. The last one I want to discuss is a bit obscure and a bit funny, to be honest. The band in question, Oasis, and their 1994 song, Shaker Maker. At the time, Oasis was quickly becoming one of the biggest bands on the planet, and this song certainly helped, mostly because of the amazing lead-in that the song has, and then it drops right into some fantastic vocals. But for those of you who watched a great deal of television in the 1970s and the 1980s, that sound may have been strangely familiar. From the iconic "I'd like to buy the world a Coke" advertisements. All Coke did in that case was adjust the words to the song "I'd like to teach the world to sing," and the Oasis song was such a blatant ripoff that they were successfully sued for $500,000. Following the incident, the always chatty Noel Gallagher simply stated, "Now we all drink Pepsi." Funny, but true. So yes, borrowing from older musicians is a time-tested reality. But when the borrowers fail to give proper credit to the original musicians, the guru will expose you.